into the market on a push towards impediment. Yet, at this moment, it truly appears like we are for sure trading under the most noteworthy mark of our level reach, and that suggests we are recognized into the span and one could make a, say, trade the range until it breaks, and that infers we could be looking for some kind of a turn back towards impediment, back towards the lower part of our level reach. Anyway, I would concur what's going on the present moment, it's not exactly so particularly clear as it would appear to be. As of now, as an issue of some significance, we truly need to perceive Bitcoin at this moment. It's truly trading an outstandingly good rise. It precisely has no effect with what extraordinary moving midpoints. You will go on the 1 hourly, on the 2 hourly. On the 4-hour time span, we are positively moving in a particularly fair upswing. Similarly going with the essential moving midpoints. It also is by all accounts on the 4-hourly, on the 2-hourly, on the 1 hourly, maybe similarly on the everyday period of time. Bitcoin is trading an ordinary upswing. Besides, what's more, since we got this specific push toward the potential increase in like manner suggests we have right presently still bullish market structure. So in light of the fact that we are in an upswing, I would agree, clearly, design has a higher probability of continuing and conceivably we could be looking for a breakout or the like. Out of our level arrived at here, but we truly need to perceive that at this point the expense action that has been molding for the new days here isn't moving. It's actually an arrive at bound environment. Besides, as referred to beforehand, considering the way that we got a push towards drawback underneath, under the most noteworthy place of our level arrived at here, since we are moving underneath the ordinarily here, we should endeavor to regardless impart to ourselves, our level arrived at here is critical. Trade the span until it truly breaks. As of now something crucial that people have close to zero insight into, accepting you go with the volume levels, right, assessing the entire upper expense section with the volume of the even reach, it seems like we are recognized under the value district. High affirmation underneath the value district high here suggests that we are to be sure trading, the area of 70%. All the volume that was truly traded this specific even reach. So assume that way. Looking right now at the expense portion, we are trading at the sign of control at the best volume pack of the entire level reach, and again, going over the value locale high. Will be a bullish correspondence or less, Bitcoin is truly going to have the choice to see a drive towards the likely increase to go off the value district high. I would truly say we are looking for some kind of a turn around towards possible increase. Once more so we create on positively now unequivocally where perhaps we could go to some degree more bullish, conceivably expecting a truly powerful breakout towards the likely increase with the exception of in the event that we go over the value district. We are in the range and we are potentially looking for another turn back towards burden. By and by, how is it that I could truly say that? In case Bitcoin see another push towards the up here, towards the value locale high, we will have an extremely high probability of going a lot higher and breaking the range towards the possible addition. It will be in light of the fact that we have retested the most elevated place of our even arrive at here. For regularly, you are truly going to see first time, second time, third time, fourth time. We have right to been retesting this specific level of obstacle here. So expecting we go eventually towards the possible addition, towards the value area, high towards our everyday high time level, from my perspective, the probability of breaking the level towards the potential increase is assuredly going to be extremely high. Anyway, before the current second, we talk about the particular worth focal point of the range and what will be our readiness considerations for the present. As of now, we need to examine what is truly going to be the particular expense center around that can be assessed with our level reach. So what we will do if we go in particular with finance channel making this specific level arrive at here, expanding this one imperceptibly lower and replicating the span and putting this one at the upper here. What you will note is the mid-level of our new level arrived voluntarily come up at 30,100 US bit generally. By and by review, why is this locale such a critical level? Above all, we truly have our step-by-step high drum stretch of time level at 30,000 US dollars, and furthermore, what we could in like manner do, going for example, on the ordinary period of time and measure. Entire upper expense portion that was forming to or a surprisingly long time back here, we can see our volume level is in like manner going to land extraordinarily, eagerly towards the worth focal point of our level arrive at regard district. Low 30,300 USR. So I would truly say IBI Bitcoin right at present will be all set later on over our value district, high over the area of 28,500 US dollars. We are looking for a normal breakout with a worth focal point of about 30,000 US dollars where we genuinely have the target of the scope, where we truly have the goal of the volume level, and clearly in like manner where we truly have our fundamental high-term time span level of resistance on the buy Bitcoin cost. As of now, something different that I should note. Accepting we go, for example, with a monetary trade. That being said, our S&P 500, this one is assuredly breaking towards the likely increase. We are trading over the high, and our next focus, in case we go higher, is truly going to be our next regular level of block, and that suggests we really have right presently more space to go towards the expected addition of around 1.85%, and exactly the same thing is happening here with the Nasdaq outline. We are breaking throughout the everyday line here, and our following everyday will be generally 1.28% higher. Clearly, accepting we will continue with our example towards the expected addition, so if the monetary trade that will open in the approaching hours will continue higher, clearly, as I might want to think, conceivably mean Bitcoin is furthermore going to go a lot higher toward the possible increase, maybe recuperate the everyday, and clearly moreover our value district high, which will land at 28,500 USD. Remember, with the exception of on the off chance that we truly break our value district high, we are at this point trading our horizontal range on the Bitcoin cost. By and by, this is the thing, right? In case we will see a turn around towards disadvantage from the most elevated mark of the range where Bitcoin is trading at present, what will be our most significant assistance level? It would be ideal for we to be aware of and what you will observe. Our value district low on Bitcoin will land at 27,300 USD. Our ordinary high from period of time support level will be insignificantly lower at 27,001. Moreover, also, what we could in like manner do, Fibo, customary retracement from our swing low back to our swing high. Our splendid phi extent will be imperceptibly higher than our value locale high. So I would concur that like that expecting Bitcoin in the approaching hours, suspend lower, this locale will be our super port zone where conceivably we could be looking for some kind of a long or a buy possession on the piece contain. Why am I saying that we could be looking for a long or a buy at this even out rather than unequivocally at the lower part of our even reach? Once more considering the way that really expecting that we overcome our assistance locale towards us here, and we retest the lower part of our level reach, we will have an exceptionally high probability of then in like manner breaking the scope towards downside. I really want this assist zone with truly holding with an extraordinarily fundamental nullification level of our long circumstance underneath our area of help. On the other hand, in case we are right presently going to see some kind of a push toward the expected increase on Bitcoin, you could moreover be wanting to go with some kind of the trauma center trade expecting that Bitcoin will see affirmation over the value locale high. Regardless, essentially note, it will not be an ideal long or a difficult situation position here since we are truly entering a long or a difficult situation position exactly at the most elevated place of our level reach. I would concur that we could be looking for a long here considering the way that we are retesting the level of resistance at this point for, as we said already, maybe the 6th time in progression. So we really have a genuinely high probability of breaking the level towards the expected increase, in any case. Ideally in a rise, we are looking for buys at the assistance levels rather than the levels of securities. Once more yet, in case you are looking for a long or a buy possession here for the breakout of some kind, guarantee you are blocking in like manner a stop hardship into the even arrive at because as we said beforehand, if we see furthermore affirmation back under the value locale high, for sure, it's a negative piece correspondence end. Truly around then clearly we really want to get stopped out of our long having a place. Yet again nonetheless, our next tremendous expense target will be at the area of around $30,000 here on the Bitcoin cost. Furthermore, much appreciated. Okay, so Bitcoin a short time back got one more push towards the reasonable increment over our level reach, taking the liquidity over our past highs. Regardless, in this video we will look at on the off chance that a transient top for Bitcoin can really be correct now and we will see one more pivot towards the lower part of our level reach. Additionally, moreover, I similarly need to present to you how to genuinely gauge the value point of convergence of our level reach and what it's going to. If we will see a break towards the normal increment, perhaps in the approaching hours. Anyway what, specifically, you will see, it really is apparently that 2 or 3 days earlier, Bitcoin was siphoning unequivocally towards the normal increment towards the area of $29,000. We got a dismissal. Following taking the liquidity over our past high, and that recommends individuals that genuinely were in a short or a sell position having the stop disaster over the high, they most likely got finished out with a WIC towards the contrary here. Plus, it's extraordinarily entrancing since, In such a case that you truly have an impact our bit-by-bit turn basis on our format, it seems like we hit our multi-bit-by-bit turn at $21,073 very brilliantly, and solely after we hit the degree of impediment. After we took the liquidity here, we got a dismissal back towards damage. Before long focusing in on our volume. Has the dismissal been going on a higher volume or no? Certainly. I would genuinely say we truly got some sort of a volume spike on a dismissal towards some site, yet truly focusing in on the amount of individuals that truly got sold on a sucker. Some site, I would genuinely say not that is simply reality apparently just 13 million of long positions got racked on a push down, which right at this point proposes that it appears as though individuals were truly shorting the most raised characteristic of our even come to, the deviation and the liquidity. Over our past high. Eventually perhaps you're mulling over, kin, at which region is Bitcoin at this point? Seeing a push up, an influence of an is some sort or another, and what you can really do. FIBO retracement. We will go from our swing low back to our swing high. It seems like we genuinely hit our 0.5 FIBO resubstitution level here. Yet again and, applying our bit-by-bit turn revolves around our plan. It looks like absolutely at this particular. We got another bit-by-bit turn, which will be another countless weeks turn here. So it seems like we got disrupting impact from our multi-bit-by-bit pivot towards obstacle, towards another countless weeks turn. Additionally, also, likewise applying bit-by-bit volume-weighted normal cost on the diagram. It moreover seems like it will be authoritatively at this particular region. To that end we are correct by seeing a push towards the conceivable increment and a retest of our old ordinary degree of hindrance at 28,332 US darts. Moreover, yesterday on Twitter, I really posted it. It appears as though we are correct now in a faltering method for some sort or another. We are seeing an exquisite response of Bitcoin coming about to taking the liquidity over the high of the compass. Notwithstanding, there is similarly a little upkeep occurring, and that proposes that individuals are shorting here, yet bulls are trying to push the cost higher. That recommends there. All the selling pressure that was coming into the market on a push towards hindrance. Once more yet, as of now, it genuinely seems like we are without a doubt exchanging under the most critical sign of our level reach, and that recommends we are perceived into the range and one could make a, say, exchange the reach until it breaks, and that surmises we could be searching for some sort of a turnaround towards obstruction, back towards the lower part of our level reach. At any rate, I would agree what's happening the current second. It's not precisely so especially clear as apparently to be. At this point, as an issue of some importance, we genuinely need to see Bitcoin as of now. It's really exchanging a remarkably decent ascent. It unequivocally has no impact with what remarkable moving midpoints. You will go on the 1 hourly, on the 2 hourly. On the 4-hour time frame, we are decidedly moving in an especially fair rise. Comparatively going with the fundamental moving midpoints. It additionally is apparently on the 4-hourly, on the 2-hourly, on the 1-hourly, perhaps comparably on the regular time frame. Bitcoin is exchanging a normal rise. Furthermore, also, since we got this particular push toward the expected expansion likewise proposes we have right by still bullish market structure. So considering the way that we are in a rise, I would concur, obviously, plan has a higher likelihood of proceeding and possibly we could be searching for a breakout or something like that. Out of our levels show up at here, however we really need to see that as of now the cost activity that has been shaping for the new days here isn't moving. It's really a show up at bound climate. Furthermore, as alluded to in advance, taking into account the way that we got a push towards downside under the most significant spot of our levels show up at here, since we are moving under the customarily here, we ought to try to in any case bestow to ourselves, our levels show up at here is basic. Exchange the range until it genuinely breaks. At this point something vital that individuals have near zero knowledge into, tolerating you go with the volume levels, right, surveying the whole upper cost segment with the volume of the even reach, it appears as though we are perceived under the worth locale. High attestation under the worth locale high here proposes that we are to be certain exchanging, the area of 70%. All the volume that was really exchanged this particular even reach. So accept that way. Looking right now at the cost segment, we are exchanging at the indication of control at the best volume pack of the whole level reach, and once more, going over the worth region high. Will be a bullish correspondence or less, Bitcoin is really going to have the decision to see a drive towards the reasonable increment to go off the worth region high. I would really say we are searching for some sort of a pivot towards conceivable increment. Yet again, so we make on emphatically now unequivocally where maybe we could go somewhat more bullish, possibly expecting a genuinely strong breakout towards the reasonable increment except for if we go over the worth region. We are in the reach and we are possibly searching for one more turn around towards trouble. Before long, how could it be that I could really say that? In the event that Bitcoin see one more push towards the up here, towards the worth district high, we will have a very high likelihood of going significantly higher and breaking the reach towards the conceivable expansion. It will be considering the way that we have retested the most raised spot of our even show up at here. For consistently, you are genuinely going to see first time, second time, third time, fourth time we have right to been retesting this particular degree of snag here. So expecting we go at last towards the conceivable expansion, towards the worth region, high towards our ordinary high time level, according to